Welcome you all. In this lecture, we are going to discuss three important reactions about the oxidation, that is Itard oxidation, Dakin oxidation and Beer-Villiger oxidation. Let's start with the Itard oxidation first. The reagent for the Itard oxidation is the combination of chromyl chloride with carbon disulfide at a room temperature. It is the oxidizing agent. See what is its application. This methyl group, this alkyl group is oxidized to aldehyde. What is the function of chromyl chloride? That is Itard oxidation. The methyl group, the methyl group which is attached to the aromatic ring is oxidized to corresponding aldehyde group. So CH3 group is aldehyde, converted to aldehyde group. In this way, this toluene is oxidized to benzaldehyde. Similarly, here see this methyl group which is attached to the benzene ring will oxidize to aldehyde group, keeping this methoxy group as it is. See the next example. Here NO2 group is here, NO2 is as it is. Only what happens, methyl is oxidized to aldehyde with this oxidation, Itard oxidation. Here see at the meta position of this methyl group, chlorine is there, it remains as it is. Only methyl group is oxidized to aldehyde. So from all these examples, it is clear that the function of chromyl chloride, that is Itard oxidation, is just to convert CH3 group to aldehyde. Now let us see the mechanism of this reaction. This is toluene, benzene ring, and this is CH3 methyl. This is chromyl chloride, Cr is in the center, attached to 2 oxygen by double bond and 2 chlorines by single bond. In the first step, the Ene reaction takes place. You know the Ene reaction, it is a pericyclic reaction which takes place in presence of thermal energy only, and it is a rearrangement reaction where the shifting of hydride ion from that is 1,5 shifting takes place and we get the different products. See what happens here. This carbon hydrogen bond cleavage takes place. CH3 group, this is carbon, this is hydrogen. This bonded pair of electrons are shifted here. Therefore, now here carbon-carbon double bond is there. Bond is shifted here. At the same time, these pi bonded electrons are open here on this carbon, and this chromium-carbon bond formation takes place. You can see here clearly carbon-chromium bond formation. And when this bond is formed between carbon and chromium, these pi bonded electrons are open on oxygen. So it have the O negative, means oxide ion is formed. And this proton, this H positive, that is proton, and this oxide ion combines together, O negative H positive, OH is formed. So what happens here? Shifting of this proton to this oxide ion, OH formation, this new bond formation between chromium and carbon, and there is a double bond formation between carbon-carbon, and we get this one. After that, 2,3 sigmatropic rearrangement takes place. It is again a pericyclic reaction where see what happens. These pi bonded electrons are shifted here. So benzene ring is again formed because it is aromatic, it is non-aromatic. Again by shifting these pi bonded electrons, it becomes aromatic. When this new bond is formed, when the aromatization takes place, at the same time, this bonded pair of electrons are open on the chromium. It means carbon-chromium bond cleavage takes place. And at the same time, these pi bonded electrons are open on the oxygen. Now, what is the charge on this carbon when these pi bonded electrons are shifted here? There is a deficiency. This carbon have the positive charge, deficiency. And what is the charge on oxygen? Negative. So this O negative and this carbon positive bond formation takes place. So it is a concerted step mechanism where you can clearly see the shifting of this bond here, opening of this bonded pair of electron on the chromium, and formation of this carbon oxygen bond takes place simultaneously, and we get this. After that, in the next step, see what happens. From this CH2 group, deprotonation takes place. This bonded pair of electrons is shifted here, so double bond is formed between carbon and oxygen, and this proton is migrated here. And when this new bond is formed between carbon and oxygen, this proton is migrated, and we get this byproduct, that is H positive, Cl negative, that is HCl, and this is another byproduct, chromium is attached to chlorine and OH, this one. and what we get here, benzene C double bond OH, that is benzaldehyde is obtained. In this way, this methyl group is oxidized to aldehyde via two consecutive pericyclic reaction. One is Yin reaction and other is 2,3 sigma tropic rearrangement reaction. Okay, this is the mechanism. See this example explain the difference between the reagent. This, if you instead of using chromyl chloride, that is retard oxidation, if I use potassium permanganate or potassium dichromate, that is strong oxidizing agent, then what will happen? This methyl group will oxidize to carboxylic acid. Okay, but if I want to convert the methyl group into aldehyde, then I have to use chromyl chloride. We can say that chromyl chloride is a mild oxidizing agent than potassium permanganate. Okay. See here, now in this example, ethyl group is there attached to the benzene ring. So what will happen? This CH3 group will oxidize to aldehyde only, and what we will get? Ethyl benzene is converted to phenyl acetaldehyde. It is a phenyl acetaldehyde, because you know CH3 C double bond OH is acetaldehyde. One of the hydrogen from CH3 group is replaced by phenyl ring, so it is phenyl acetaldehyde. Okay. Now see this one example. Here benzene ring is attached to CH2, CH2, CH3, that is propyl group, N-propyl group. Its name is N-propyl benzene. On oxidation, what will happen? The C double bond, this CH2 group will oxidize to C double bond O, that is ketone, and we get this ketone, and this rearranges to give benzyl methyl ketone. This particular example you have to remember about this chromyl chloride, that here in this example CH3 is oxidized to aldehyde, but here in case of N-propyl ring, this carbon, which CH2 group which is directly attached to benzene, is oxidized to carbonyl group, and then rearrangement takes place to give this benzyl methyl ketone. That is the particular example you have to remember only. Okay. Now another reagent for the same conversion, that is conversion of methyl group to the aldehyde, is this combination of chromium trioxide with acetic anhydride. It also works in the same way. Other is ceric ammonium nitrate, which is abbreviated as a CAN. The function is same, methyl group is oxidized to aldehyde. The same function is carried out with selenium dioxide also. CH3 benzylic methyl group is oxidized to aldehyde. Okay, so chromyl chloride as well as this reagent chromium trioxide with acetic anhydride, then ceric ammonium nitrate, selenium dioxide, all these have the same functions, that the methyl group is oxidized to aldehyde group. Okay. Now let us move to second reaction of today's lecture, that is Dakin oxidation. The reagent for Dakin reaction is hydrogen peroxide in alkaline media. See, this is a salicyl aldehyde. Aldehyde and OH groups are at adjacent position to each other. When we oxidize it with hydrogen peroxide in alkaline media, what happens? This aldehyde group is oxidized to OH, and in this way salicyl aldehyde in this case is oxidized to catechol. Okay. See here, the aldehyde group is at the para position to the OH group here. So it is salicyl aldehyde, it is para hydroxy benzaldehyde. At the ortho position is there, so it is ortho hydroxy benzaldehyde, that is salicyl aldehyde. At the para position, hydroxy group is there. On oxidation, what will happen? The aldehyde group will oxidize to OH. Means whatever it may be the position, whether it is ortho position or para position, the aldehyde group is oxidized to OH. See here, instead of aldehyde, ketone group is there. Now, what is the name of this compound? It is orthohydroxyacetophenone. See, it is acetophenone. At the ortho position, there is a hydroxy group, so it is orthohydroxyacetophenone. So this C double bond OCH3 is oxidized to OH. It means when at the ortho position of the aldehyde group or ketone group, OH group is there, then that aldehyde or ketone is converted to OH group. Similarly, at the para position of the aldehyde or keto group, if OH is there, it is also oxidized. That aldehyde or keto group is also oxidized to OH group. That's all. See here it is a para example, para hydroxyacetophenone. It is acetophenone. At the para position of this ketonic group there is OH, so para hydroxyacetophenone. What will happen? This group will oxidize to OH. On the same background now, let us see some modified examples. Here see, instead of OH, NH2 group is incorporated there. It is analogous to that salicylaldehyde or that ketone or aldehyde, aromatic aldehyde or aromatic ketone having OH group at ortho and para position. Only what is the change here? Instead of OH, NH2 is taken here. So what will happen? It will behave, I can say that it behave as a OH group and it remains as it is. NH2 will remain as NH2. Only this ketone is oxidized to OH. Okay. See, at the para position is NH2 is there. What is its name? It is para aminoacetophenone. Here in both the cases the name is misprinted there. It is actually ortho aminoacetophenone and it is para aminoacetophenone. Here it is wrongly para hydroxy is written. Okay. But remember, it is ortho aminoacetophenone, it is para aminoacetophenone. What will happen? NH2 will remain as it is. This ketonic group will oxidize to OH. Okay. Now, what is the, let us summarize the applications of Dakin reaction. The reagent is hydrogen peroxide in alkaline media. The reagents, the applications, whatever may be the aldehyde or ketone group, it oxidizes to OH group. But what is the condition? At the ortho or para position, there should be OH or NH2 group should be there. That is the condition. Okay. Now let us see the mechanism, that how it happens, how that aldehyde or ketone group is oxidized to OH. It is interesting to see the mechanism. See here, this is hydrogen peroxide, alkaline media, hydroxide ion. In the first step, there is a formation of hydrophenoxide anion. It means this proton and this hydroxide ion combine to form the water molecule, and here what is remaining? H2O negative. Okay, if you draw the structure of hydrogen peroxide, it is OH is attached to OH. After abstraction of proton, one of the proton from OH group, what is remain there? OH, O negative. That proton will be abstracted by this hydroxide ion to give the water molecule. What is the name of this ion? Hydrophenoxide anion. Now that hydrophenoxide anion, of course, it is nucleophilic in nature. It will attack on the carbonyl carbon, which is electron deficient in nature. We know that. When this new bond is formed between this carbonyl carbon and this oxide ion, at the same time these pi bonded electrons will open on the oxygen. So opening of this pi bonded electron on oxygen and the formation of carbon oxygen bond takes place simultaneously. So see, after opening of this pi bonded electron on oxygen, oxygen have the negative charge, that is oxide ion formation, and this carbon oxygen bond formation takes place. But it is unstable. In the next, why it is unstable? Because oxygen is negatively charged, oxide ion is formed there. So in the next step, what will happen? This negative charge means these two electrons are retained back, and again carbon oxygen double bond formation takes place. Okay, and when this new bond is formed, at the same time another bond will break. Now there are two chances. When this new bond is formed, the carbon hydrogen bond may break or this carbon carbon bond may break. So here, when this new bond is formed between oxygen and carbon, at that time this bond breaking takes place. So formation of new bond between carbon and oxygen leads to the formation of carbonyl group, and the breaking of this bond leads to the formation of carbon oxygen bond. Okay, so what is the picture after that? You can say it is a 1-2 shift, a real shift. So carbon oxygen bond, so carbon oxygen. When this new bond is formed between carbon and oxygen, we know oxygen is bivalent. When this new bond is formed, the old bond will rupture, it will break, cleavage of this oxygen bond, cleavage oxygen bond takes place. So it takes place simultaneously, formation of this new bond, breaking of this bond, formation of this bond, and breaking of this bond. So hydroxide ion is removed here. So carbon oxygen, single bond, C double bond OH, carbon oxygen, C double bond OH, and this OH group which is present at ortho position will remain as it is. It is a intermediate form in which we can say it is a formate. It is ester group, but hydrogen is there, so you can say it is a phenyl formate as an intermediate. Okay, in the next step what happens, see, again in the alkaline media, see what happens here. This bond cleavage takes place, here it is clearly shown, and when this new bond cleavage, before that, see, this hydroxide ion, that is nucleophile, it attacks on the carbonyl group. Pi bond is open on oxygen and this carbon oxygen bond takes place. So pi bond is open on oxygen, so oxide ion, and this carbon oxygen, so the bond between carbon and OH group is formed. This intermediate is formed. Now it is unstable, so this negative charge means these two electrons are retained back. The new bond is formed between carbon and oxygen, that is carbonyl group, C double bond O. When this new bond is formed, obviously one of the old bond will rupture. So formation of this new bond and breaking of this carbon oxygen bond takes place simultaneously. So what will be the charge on the oxygen after shifting of this electron? Oxygen will have negative charge, so oxide ion formation. And here what we get? C double bond O, single bond OH and H, C double bond OH and OH. Okay, this is the byproduct. Now this oxide ion, which is formed after breaking of this bond, it is unstable. Obviously its need is of proton, it will stabilize after abstraction of proton. So from where did it will get the proton? Of course from this acid, COOH group, because we know that the carboxylic acids are proton donor as per Lowry and Bronsted concept. So this H positive and this O negative bond formation, OH is formed, and this bonded pair of electrons are shifted here, pi bond is open here, and this is the byproduct. And what we get? We get our desired product, where the aldehyde group is converted to OH. See, it is very interesting, Baeyer-Villiger oxidation. Metachloroperbenzoic acid or peroxy acids are the reagents required for this conversion. MCPBA long form is metachloroperbenzoic acid. What is its role? Conversion of ketone to ester, conversion of aldehyde to carboxylic acid. It is the function of Baeyer-Villiger oxidation. See, it is a cyclopentanone, it is ketone. With MCPBA, what will happen? The oxygen will inserted here in this ring. The 5-membered ring will convert to 6-membered and we get this ester. Cyclic esters are called as a lactones. So if ketone is there, it will convert to ester, aldehyde is converted to carboxylic acid, and if cyclic ketone is there, it will convert to ester. Just what you have to remember, you have to put the oxygen here in this ring from this side or this side. As it is symmetrical example, there is at this moment there is no need to bother about the position of the oxygen. Okay, it is cyclohexanone ring, 6-membered. So after incorporation of oxygen, we will get the 7-membered ring. We will see its mechanism after this. First, we are discussing the applications. After discussing the application, we will see the later on we will see the reduction its mechanism. Okay, now this ketone is oxidized to ester, incorporation of oxygen. Ketone is converted to ester. Yes, it is interesting. Now this ketone is unsymmetrically substituted. The previous example is symmetrical, acetone. From both sides methyl is there. So there is no issue whether the oxygen is added from this side or this side. But in case of a mixed ketone, here you see from one side methyl is there, from other side ethyl is there. From which side oxygen get incorporated, that is interesting. So see, you can see here it is incorporated from ethyl side and not from methyl side. Means more oxygen is incorporated from the group side which is more electron donor in nature. Here it is, see, it is the tertiary butyl group, here it is methyl group. So oxygen is incorporated from this tertiary butyl group. Here it is the cyclic ketone, substituted ketone. In the first example, we have discussed the asymmetrical ketone, cyclopentanone. Now it is unsymmetrical. Now oxygen is incorporated from his side, from more substituted side. Now what you have to remember, instead of remembering this electron donating and electron withdrawing, just you have to remember in case of Beer-Villiger oxidation, that oxygen is incorporated from the side which is more substituted. So it is bulky group, oxygen is incorporated as compared to methyl. Here it is tertiary butyl group which is bulky, oxygen is incorporated here. Here it is, this side is more substituted, highly substituted, so oxygen will incorporated from this side and not from this side. This is Beer-Villiger oxidation. So let us see some other examples. Now here one side benzene is there, phenyl ring, and other side methyl is there, correspond to carbonyl group. From one side phenyl, other side methyl. So oxygen is incorporated from phenyl side, as it is bulky group, I can say at this moment. Now here it is interesting, from which side oxygen will be incorporated, whether from this more substituted methoxyphenyl side or phenyl ring. Of course from this side, because here it is methoxy group, bulkier group. Here see aromatic, generally when aromatic and aliphatic rings are, one is aromatic and other is aliphatic chain. If the carbonyl group is surrounded by one aromatic ring and other is aliphatic ring, always the oxygen is incorporated from aromatic side. No issue is there. Oxygen is incorporated from this side, because it is aliphatic and this is aromatic. Here also same, it is aromatic ring substituted with N-dimethyl group, and from this side isopropyl group is there. So from which side oxygen will incorporated to give the ester? From this side, aryl side, remember this one. But when electron withdrawing group is attached, see in the previous example, electron donating groups are there, methoxy group is electron donating, N-dimethyl is electron donating, from their side the oxygen is incorporated. But here nitro group is there, and all of you know that the nitro group is electron withdrawing in nature. So in that case, though it is the aromatic ring, the oxygen is incorporated from aliphatic side. This example we have already discussed. Now let us see the mechanism of Beer-Villiger oxidation by taking the example of this simple ketone, how the ester is formed. This reaction is a acid catalyzed. H2SO4 sulfuric acid is used for the as a catalyst here. So in the first step, what happens? See, the ketone, this proton goes to the oxygen, because oxygen have the lone pair of electron. Oxonium ion formation takes place. The bond is coordinate bond. After that, these pi bonded electrons are open on the oxygen. Now carbonyl, this carbon becomes deficient, it have the positive charge. Carbonium ion formation takes place, and this is the peroxy acid, CH3 double bond OOH. CH3COOH means acetic acid, and one oxygen is extra there, that's why it is called as a peroxy acetic acid or peracetic acid. So when this oxonium ion is formed, now oxygen gain its lone pair, pi bonded electrons are open on the oxygen, carbonium ion formation. Now here ionization takes place, deprotonation, oxide ion formation. Now this O and carbonium ion and this oxide ion bond formation takes place. Or in other words, we can say that before ionization, we can say that oxygen donates lone pair to this electron deficient carbon, thereby there is a formation of positive charge on the oxygen, so oxonium ion formation, and then deprotonation. Oxygen formation, oxygen carbon bond formation, oxonium ion formation, and then deprotonation. In this way you can write, or you can directly write that there is oxide ion formation and then O negative C positive bond formation takes place simultaneously. Thereby you can skip one step. If you write directly oxide ion attack, you can skip one step. But if you write in this way that oxygen is donating the lone pair to the carbonium ion, then one step will be extra there. Okay, so oxygen gain its lone pair, deprotonation, and we get this moiety. Now this intermediate which is formed, it is looking unstable. Why it is unstable? Because see, there is this carbon is attached to 2 oxygen atom, further there is a linkage with oxygen atom. When the carbon is attached to 1 or more, 2 or more oxygen or any electron withdrawing group or electronegative atom, then that is unstable and it will try to stabilize itself. So see what happens here. Now this oxygen donates lone pair, so oxygen carbon bond formation takes place here. Doing so, what will happen with oxygen? Oxygen will bear the positive charge, oxonium ion formation takes place. When this new bond is formed between oxygen and carbon, this carbon, the valency will disturb because it cannot form more than 4 bonds. So when this new bond is formed, at the same time, this alkyl group migrates along with the bonded pair of electron to this oxygen. This is a 1,2 alkyl shift. I am repeating again, this is a crucial step where this alkyl group from the carbon migrates to the adjacent oxygen along with bonded pair of electron. Means these 2 electrons, alkyl group migrates with these 2 electron bonded electrons. When it migrates to the oxygen, it goes along with these electrons, and that is the crucial step which is called 1,2 alkyl shift. That's why this is called as a rearrangement reaction. And when this new bond is formed between oxygen and alkyl group, this bond cleavage takes place and it will appear as a byproduct. Don't worry about that. And what we'll get? We will get oxygen having positive charge, R, C double bond O, C double bond OH, oxygen have the positive charge, and single bond OR. Okay, so oxonium ion is obtained. Okay, and finally deprotonation. Oxygen gain its lone pair, oxygen hydrogen bond cleavage takes place, oxygen gain its lone pair, deprotonation takes place, and we get R, C double bond O, OR, that is ester. Interestingly, ketone is converted to ester. And now if there is a choice between these 2 alkyl group, which alkyl group will migrate? Here both the alkyl groups are there, though there is no issue. But when different alkyl groups are there, then which alkyl group will migrate? The group which have more electron aptitude, the electron migrating aptitude, means the alkyl group which is more electron releasing will migrate. Here there is a choice, and accordingly we get the different product. And applications we have already discussed, and in general I can say that the alkyl group which is more electron donating, from that side oxygen is incorporated, right. On the same background, one can write the mechanism of cyclic ketone also. There is no difference. By taking the example of cyclohexanone, how it converts to lactone having 7-membered ring. Let us see. First step is protonation, oxygen get protonated, oxonium ion formation. Then oxygen gain its lone pair, carbonium ion formation. Then this oxygen donates lone pair to the carbonium ion, bond is formed between oxygen and carbon, oxygen will have the positive charge, oxonium ion formation. What is next step? Deprotonation, oxygen gain its lone pair. What is next step? Oxygen donates its lone pair here, pi bond is formed between oxygen and carbon, and when this new bond is formed, at the same time the alkyl group which is attached to the carbon migrates. Now here there are 2 choices, this carbon oxygen bond formation or this carbon oxygen bond formation, but as it is equally substituted, symmetrically substituted, there is no issue, we can write any one. So oxygen bond formation, carbon bond formation, and this oxygen carbon bond formation takes place, means we can say this alkyl group, this CH2 group is migrated, we can say that. And in this way the ring size is increases. When this new bond is formed between carbon and oxygen, this bond is break, old bond cleavage takes place. In this way we get the 7-membered ring. What is the charge on this oxygen after donation of the lone pair? Positive charge, oxonium ion formation, and finally deprotonation, loss of proton, and we get this cyclic moiety. Cyclic esters are called lactones. Ketone converted to ester, cyclic ketone is converted to lactone. Let us see again some examples. Here it is see ketone from the methyl side, methyl is there one side, from one side, from the another side this group. So oxygen is incorporated from which side? More substituted side or electron withdrawing group. Okay. What is about the chirality here? This carbon is chiral, asymmetric. The chirality is retained here. It will remain as it is. This is norboranone, substituted norboranone. So oxygen is incorporated from this side, not from endo side, exo side. Because it is substituted from this, it is heavily substituted. Methyl group is there. From this side, it is not substituted. Here, in this case, see this oxygen again, as it is substituted from this side. So oxygen is incorporated from this side and not from this side.